Okay, I'm going to have a go at fixing this bug, which is in the Numbas runtime. It's to do with the code that subs variables into text. In particular, it has to split up when there are curly braces. So first of all, I'll make an example question to show what's the problem. This is my local development instance of the Numbas editor. I've got a project for issues here. I'm going to call it issue, 928. Okay, and it looks like the problem is when you have a string inside curly braces. So what do I want to do? I want to make up a variable, give it the value 1, and then I'm going to put some stuff inside these curly braces. What's the example I gave? That was going to be a mathematical expression. Yeah, but never mind. What I'm going to do is, so I'm going to try and split up this long string by, I have to give a delimiter, and I'm going to try and do some substitution in there, put in my variable a. So theoretically, the way that strings are evaluated is that when you get to a string, you evaluate it and you do curly braces substitution as well. But the problem here is that that doesn't happen. What instead happens is that the curly braces here get replaced with normal parentheses, so we split by left bracket, a right bracket. So if I'll put that in there. That should give me two things now. Yeah, so that's a bug. Right, next thing to do is to go and look at the unit tests for the runtime. So again, I have doc test is not defined. I need to remake the tests. That's weird. Why is it not defined? So there's some stuff around building all the development environment and everything. And okay, I see what's happening. So I've got a server which both serves these static pages and watches all the files used to build the tests and runs make. But I haven't installed docutils, which I need in order to get the stuff out of the editor documentation. So what I need to do is go here and go pip install docutils. There we go, and now if I touch that file, it should do it properly. Yeah, created doc tests. Okay, cool. And I've got some undocumented functions. I shouldn't. Did I not push my commit from before? I thought I did that yesterday. Let's check. My other machine where I was doing stuff yesterday. I did not. So let's add that. Push over there. Oh, let's do a get pull drag. Yeah, okay. Looks like there was a dependable thing as well that I didn't have yet. So okay, right. So in the editor directory, I need to do a get pull. get the latest documentation. That's updated. That will rebuild. There we go. Cool. Right. So I have some tests on split brackets here, which do some things. They don't have a test for anything involving a string, so that's a good place to add one. Right. So gvim. Okay. So what do I want to happen here? I'm going to write a new test which says that I think it should just preserve those curly braces. It might be that a lot of other stuff breaks when we do this. We'll see. So open brace, close brace, da, 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 da. Yeah, those are the delimiters. That's right. Does it put the extra stuff on the end? No, it doesn't. Okay, so what this is doing is let's highlight some things. So I assert that using deep equal, which says we're going to end up with some lists which are nested objects, so check all through that structure that the result and the thing I'm expecting are equal. So run split brackets on this string using curly braces as delimiters. They're giving us parameters just in case I ever needed to do it for something else, which I haven't yet. And that should be the result. So first of all, it should be the empty string. So it gives plain text bit first and then something in curly braces. It alternates. And then finally, this is the bit of text that shows up in the test interface to describe what the test is about. Typically what I do is just give the input. Okay, so there's my test. I'm going to run it, and that tells me that it is not the same. And in fact, it hasn't put parentheses around those. I think there's an extra parameter to split brackets. Oh, it's a Newton. Oh yeah, okay, so we've got nest. So for nested things, you give an extra parameter, which in fact is what that test above was doing. It was replacing them with curly braces. So I might just need to change that. So that's the current behavior. Yep, good. So let's see where that's done. In fact, it's exactly here. So find variables. Yep. Oops, daisy. Yeah. Content split brackets. So subvars, that's the important bit here. I think that if I just change these to curly braces, these last two, it will be fine. But I don't know that. Let's grep in the right folder. Find out where split brackets is used. So in Jeremy variables, it does it as well. Content split brackets is the one for looking for text strings. And that works slightly differently. Jeremy variables again. That's util, that's the definition of it, and then Jeremy.js. Okay, so it's not used in that many places. So what I really want is a test on subvars, I think. Do I have? I do have some tests on that, yeah, okay. Okay, so I've got, what am I doing? I've made up a scope here with a variable x, which has the value 2, which I can use to do some stuff. Cool. Yeah, so I can do this again, except with 2s instead of 1s. Okay, in fact, let's not have quite so many of those. So scope, and then what do I want it to produce? It's going to make something like O, and then X, O, and then another one, another empty one, I think. Yeah. In fact, I will need a test. It's not just nested things, it's about what you do with inside strings. So I'll yeah, think through that. And again, I'll say what the input was there. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't just want to change this, I do want to change the behavior. Let's get that line back that I had. Yeah, so I want that test to fail as well. Right, so now we're going to have 2 tests failing. Hopefully. 2 failed, good stuff. So subvars, what's that going to do? That has instead split on where the bracket X is. Okay, good. Right, so we really do need to change split brackets to deal with curly braces inside a string, which I don't think it does at the moment. So what do? We have, so the way it works, you give it the input string, left bracket, right bracket, and then left bracket and right bracket to replace nested ones with. The reason it would work with nested things, do I have a test about that? Yeah, here we go. So sometimes people do just put extra curly braces in. And you want that to be sort of a non-op. So putting brackets around it means that it retains its status as a separate atom. Just in case, if I had, for example, if I had well, no, yeah, for X there, you wouldn't want to, sorry, no. What's a good example here? Yeah, so if you have brackets X, Y, that should be the same as X times Y, and not the same as XY, which would be a single name. So if you put brackets around this, you get XY, which by implicit multiplication is the same as the thing there. So that's why you deal with nested brackets, and that's why you put parentheses. But inside a string, you don't want that to happen. I think we just want to completely ignore strings inside the between curly braces. So, how does this work? I have a feeling this is a very, very old function, and I feel like we could rewrite large parts of it. So what do? We're going to return an array of bits. start, I guess it's going to keep track of where the curly braces started. Yeah, or where the particular bit started. So go over the each character in the string, backslash escapes. If you get to a left bracket, so the left bracket might be more than one character, so you do that slice. Then you must have had a string before that, and you push a left bracket and carry on. Okay, so split it up by find where the left brackets and right brackets are. Good. Then if you've got some trailing bits of string, push those. Then I think this does the deal of dealing with nested brackets. I think the bit up here is where we're going to have to think about being inside a string or not. Okay, so this looks a bit complicated, so I guess that this could return. Yeah, so if you have a trailing unclosed bracket, then you've got problems. You have to return. That left curly brace would instead be plain text. Right. Yep. So let's just try really straightforwardly. I think we need to count whether we're inside a bracket or not. Actually, I think, oh no. Yeah, I think we're doing it in here. So we're going to, this depth variable keeps track of how many brackets we're into. And in fact, we're going to have to push a string delimiter. And it's hard because that really depends on how you tokenize the expression. I think I need some more examples here. So, make a new buffer. So you might have some text saying plain, and then you have curly braces, and you have who knows what. And there are lots of different ways of starting a string. I feel like we need regular expressions at some point, but I don't know. And then plain again outside, and that could have that. So what should that produce? We need to know when we're in a string. Oof. I'll show how the tokenization works because it's complicated. So there's a parser object for parsing JME expressions, and Where's the tokenize function? The way it works, it first of all passes over the string, tokenizing it, splitting it up into individual tokens. So you go from a string to a list of token objects, which you represent the substring. So it just loops over a load of tokenizers. So there's the string tokenizer, and there's a regular expression for that. There we are. So at the moment, and it has changed over the years, it's either 3 double quotes, 3 single quotes, or 1 single quote, or a double quote. Then it has to end with the same thing. So you don't know if you're in a string until you get to the end. I think we just need to use this whole regular expression here and use that, which is annoying because this is in jme.js, which loads after util, which is where split brackets happens. I could define just that one in util and use it. Which I think I will do. Okay. Okay. Okay, so there's a doc string for it. So now I can use that. And that is going to affect how we do this splitting up. And I was hoping not to have keep track of the depth while going through. It seems to go through in 2 passes. Why does it do 2 passes? Good question. Where are my tests? So I think it's all to do with unmatched things. Right, so if we're closing, oh, right, okay. So if we get to a right bracket, if there wasn't a matching left bracket earlier, then this is still plain text, so that's fine. If there is, then we are closing at least one level of things, so we take one away from depth. If we're still some layer in this, there's still an unmatched left bracket somewhere, then this is nested, so we add in the nested right bracket. Otherwise, this is the end. So we've got a plain text bit that we push, and then we push the bit between the brackets. Okay. And for left brackets, same deal. So I think we just have to keep track of depth here. reset depth there. So, right. So m equals agent.exec. So if we're in a string and so what we're going to do, this might be shaky. So left bracket increase depth, right bracket decrease it. Plus equals m naught. Something like that. So now, if we are inside some matching brackets and we spot a string, then we just match that whole thing as a block right until the end. And I think that regex dealt with escape characters and everything. Yeah. So either, so you start delimiter, you have either not that start delimiter, and it's not a backslash, or backslash and then something, any number of those, and then the delimiter again. So the delimiter has to match using back reference. Good stuff. So now we just need to deal with this. Okay, so I think this, so that's always got to be in greater depth. Yeah, fine. Let's see what happens to that. I've got an invalid assignment on a particular line. Okay. So what I did here, I've got a syntax error because I did a single equals, but I think the precedence of, I think it is depth greater than 0 and m as one thing. So I just need some brackets around here, I think. Still failing my tests, that's fine. Okay, so it looks like it has done something different, but it's weird. I've probably just done the wrong thing here. So let's step through this. Use the console. Something. Oh, it does like adding in extra brackets for me. Yeah, cool. So Control Alt Shift to get global search. There we are. Right. So what I'm interested in is, once it's run through that first pass, what did we have? I'm expecting to see nothing, then the left bracket, some string, a JME string bit that's that big, a bit more plain text, close bracket. Let's see what it is. So 5 bits, empty string, left bracket, so not right, So I didn't, so this has come out of order. Okay, good. So the problem is up here. Didn't move start along. Yeah, didn't move start along. Maybe that. What does start do? It says where this bit started. That feels like a bug as well. That one. I think that should be rb.length. Let's add in a test about that. If I double these up, okay. Is that another bug? No, it's not a bug. Okay, what does start do? I mean, I might still be off by one more, so let's just keep going. There we are. Can I make it go wrong yet? Nope, still not wrong. Okay, so that is right. What's it doing? Oh, it's I, but I've already moved I along. Oh, right. Yeah. Right. So that has just lost all of that stuff there. So actually what I need to do is get that plain text string as well. Okay, so that first test passes now. And in fact, that other test passes, except I didn't put the right spaces around. Okay. So that should... Yeah, so that's producing a JME list, which likes to put lots of spacing in. I think that passes nicely. Yeah, that's good. Let's just add some more stuff to this to make it clear that I still want stuff not in a string to have that behavior, so nested stuff. Where is it going? There? Yeah. Cool. That works. Let's check in the editor. I also have the editor rebuilding the scripts immediately for me, so we'll see what that does. Does that fix my problem? Yeah, it does. No, it doesn't. I was expecting that to split on just the number 1. Now that is interesting. If I do it in here, that works. So am I just caching things? Let's see. No, it's working differently. Is the editor not in fact rebuilding? Okay, so not... okay, so it's not actually doing it. I haven't got this variable set up properly. No, sorry. Don't know if I'm saying sorry to that. Yeah, there we go. So I have to have an environment variable telling it where the compiler is. So it's done that. Right, that works. The fact it worked in test run told me that it was actually working. Right, yeah, so that's what I expected. So I've got a 0, then my delimiter, 0 bracket A bracket, another delimiter, 0. Yeah, cool. Nice. So that's done. I will commit this now. I'll add the -v flag on. So I've changed JME and util. I moved the JME string out of JME.js. So that's why that's changed, and then all the tests have changed as well. Good stuff. So what issue number was it? 98. And I've got some tests here, so I don't really need to explain too much. We've done. Okay, there we go. Git push. I would make a branch and do a pull request if I wasn't in charge of the whole thing, but there we go. And then finally the editor was also updated, so I'm going to say I've updated Numbas runtime, and I've picked up a lookout file change, which was from earlier as well. Good stuff.